Hello everybody, this is Oak Tree Tarot Reader here and welcome to my video. It's not a pick a card video. No, one of the questions that I was asked when I asked what could I do to entertain you all while you're housebound, and so am I, was how did I get into tarot reading, any advice and so on and so forth. So I've been thinking about it and sort of thinking how I could do it best for you. And today I had an epiphany. Because today is my birthday. Yay! Happy birthday to me! Woo! It's not the usual birthday that I would get because I can't see anyone. I can't go out anywhere. No one can... well, they've wished me happy birthday through text messages and WhatsApp. And I've had a few cards in the post, but everything seems to be a bit slow at the moment. I think you can understand why. But one of my good friends who perhaps foresaw this issue actually sent me a package a couple of weeks ago and said, this is for your birthday. So I've kept it. I resisted the temptation. I didn't open it, and boy am I glad I did, because I got a lovely present. I got some tarot cards. I got this collection, the Tea Leaf Fortune cards. I've really wanted some of these for ages, and now I've got some. Woohoo! I have seen them on other tarot readers' videos and lusted. So I've obviously had a bit of a play this morning and had a bit of a read of the booklet, the book with it. And one of the things the book says to do is to do, the first thing you should do so that the deck gets your energies and you familiarise yourself with it, is to do a birthday reading. And it suddenly, an epiphany hit me. Wouldn't that be a good way in to show you, to discuss my history with tarot, and also to start teaching you and sharing a bit of my wisdom. And if this turns out to be popular or interesting, I may do something more in a formal setting and a more teach you how to do tarot in the way that I have come round to learning. So what we're going to do today is actually a tarot reading on me. We're going to do my birthday reading, my year ahead, what's coming towards me, energies and so on and so forth. Because one of the best ways to learn tarot is to just do readings over and over again repeatedly, you know. 1 or 2 a week, just start yourself off easily, learn what the cards mean, and practice. But it's very, very difficult to do a reading on yourself. I've been doing cards now for well over 20 years, maybe even 25 years by now. I started in my mid-teens-ish, about 16 I think I was. And no, actually, anyway, around about that. And I found it impossible to do tarot readings on myself because I would always push for things to come out in the reading that I desperately wanted, that I would fall in love, or I would come into a lot of money, or something really exciting would happen, everything a teenager wants. Or the cards would show up with things that I were terrified that were going to happen, that I would, you know, like the 9 of Swords and 10 of Swords energy, that things were dead in the water, that they were doomed, and that I'll be lying awake at night panicking about things, all this kind of stuff. So I would do readings for other people, free readings. I would say, like, I'm learning, so you get what you get. On family members, and really refining until I kept it quite low level. And then as I got older and I got my first job, and then, you know, my second job, and I would gradually buy up different decks that I liked. I would have gaps where I didn't do anything to do with tarot for a while because I had other things going on in my life, and I didn't really have the time and energy to devote to it, until a few years ago I got back into it. And then I decided that I would join in with the tarot pick a card video community on YouTube, so I could share my gift, or share my knowledge really, with other people, and do readings for other people and help you all out with your various problems that you might have, and as well as to entertain you, which I also do enjoy. So what do I do with the conundrum of teaching you through a reading, how to do a reading, how to approach different subjects with the context of the cards, when I'm not comfortable doing readings on strangers without their permission, You know, I don't think that's fair. And the answer then suddenly came to me is, well, why don't I just do a reading on me, use me as the test subject, and you can also put your own interpretation on the cards. I'll interpret them, obviously. You can put your own interpretation on them and put them in the comment section and just have it as sort of a tutorial. So that's the plan. So my advice initially, before we move, these are the three cards, the three sets of cards that I'm going to use today, and I will go on to that when I do the reading. But what I wanted to discuss was how did I get my first set of tarot cards and what my recommendations are for any of you in case you haven't bought any or are planning to buy some, or are struggling learning and maybe want a few bits of advice. I got my very first tarot deck when I was out shopping with my sister. I only have the one, and we were at a bookshop or a stall or something. I can only vaguely remember it. It was like one of the budget book places, you know. And there were tarot. There's a pack there of a tarot deck and the booklet with it. And I was obviously very attracted to it because I've always been interested in the supernatural, the esoteric, different types of stories and so on. We're here to learn. So my sister was like, oh, should we get them? And so she bought one and I bought the other. They're completely identical and we both still have those tarot cards. But I went much more into it because it was my interest, and I would do tarot readings for her. And she's gone on and done other things, but is really supportive of me doing tarot. And I learnt from that deck and from that little booklet and then built on that knowledge. Now that deck, in fact I'm going to find it, it's in my drawer. Right, I'm back. I just paused it while I found them. Oh, well over, I think these must be 21, 22 years old now. That'll tell you how old I am, roughly. I've had them a very long time, around 20, maybe more years. I still love them. I still love the artwork. I occasionally use them, but now they're sort of so important to me that I try not to use them too much because I want to preserve them. But so I learned from this deck, but there's one thing that let me down slightly that I would like you all to learn from, is that the major arcana are brilliant. I could learn from them, the court cards. But when it came to certain or other of them, let me find them. It will show you something like the 9 cups or the 2 swords, but there's nothing there pictorially to make a connection with the meaning behind the card. So there's no sleeping soldier, you know, with the 3 swords on top and the 1 sword underneath. So I found it a struggle to put the meaning to the cards for the minor arcana. It took me a long time to learn them, a lot longer than anything else, because I didn't have the, you know, girl confused, can't see a way out. I didn't have the picture to help me learn the meaning behind the cards. I mean, I know them now, so I'm not as stressed about it. But the major ones, it was clear, and the aces were fine. So that's my warning to you, is to, if you buy a deck and you like them, that's brilliant, wonderful. But be careful with them, in that you need to have your very first deck to be a deck that supports you in learning what the cards mean, because it can delay certain things. If you're struggling to connect to the cards, that you don't necessarily like the artwork, or you struggle to make a connection with them. I mean, like the 2 of Cups, you immediately know what that means because of the picture on it. So my advice is to get Rider-Waite first off, to learn from. Buy a Rider-Waite deck. It doesn't matter what the back looks like, that's just for your own personal preference. I like the gold stars on the navy blue, and I like the feel of these in my hand. I use them a lot. My basic turn 2 deck. But you want to be able to see the artwork clearly, and this is just at its core value what the cards mean. Once you've learnt these inside out, you've memorised them, You've come to your own understanding of them, so don't dismiss that your understanding of the cards will change over the time as you do readings and you understand them in context of other people's lives and how it resonates with them. Once you have that understanding, you can go on and buy different decks that look different and have different artwork and perhaps meanings behind them, and where the booklet perhaps describes them in greater detail or examines a different aspect behind one of the cards. Because you've got that core knowledge, it will take you far. So that's my recommendation. Learn straight off from the basic Rider-Waite deck. And then as you build up your collection, as most of you probably will, then you can develop your knowledge, deepen it and spread it along with the different decks which have different emphases upon them. So that's how I got my first deck with my sister. And I did it because I was utterly convinced I could divine the future from it. I've come to the conclusion now that you can't really. You can only do so far into the future, you know, maybe a month to 6 weeks maximum, maybe even 2 months. The only time it's, you know, I've done successfully something like 3 months is when it's been a project that's meant to last that long. You know, like somebody said, this contract with this business is 3 months. How's it going to go? Any recommendations? Anything I've got to watch out for? Can I have some clarity on things? Then, you know, or my course is so long. Advice, please, clarity. Can you help me with that? Anything I've got to watch out for? But otherwise, we make decisions all the time. We have constant thoughts. We must have hundreds of thousands, if not millions of thoughts a day, and those change things. We think, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm going to take that option instead. We listen to tarot readings that influence our decision making process. All of that plays a part. So I learned that it's more likely that I will get a feel on the near future, but more importantly on what things are going on at the moment and how they're influencing the future, and what I can do to change things, to manifest better things, to make better choices, and to have greater clarity on what's going on. And to me, that's the true value of tarot, is that it helps you understand what's going on in your life in the hope that it will allow you to move forward into a better life. Obviously, you know that I do things where watch your future spouse, like that's to entertain you. That is the sort of entertainment part of tarot, where it's to give you food for thought about, you know, to aspire to something, to move towards something, to think that you can achieve your dreams and you can attract the things that you want to attract into your life. Because sometimes, you know, you must have seen, I've had comments where it says, no, I don't want that sort of person. Well, there's your warning. This is the path that you're on, that you're going to end up with somebody that you don't want to marry or have a family with. Change things, or you're going to end up in a career that you know won't make you happy. So let's move on to what I really wanted to do, which was talk to you about doing readings. I've said it's better to practice on people. If you decide to do the online route like I have and offer out free readings so that you can practice, be warned right now, you're going to get bombarded. There's just going to be, you know, loads of people contacting you on your social media for free readings. So you have to decide what the cut-off point is and how much you're going to charge when you're professional, when you're feeling confident in your ability to do a reading. And don't sell yourself short. Obviously you want to have it so that it's affordable, that you're still going to get custom, you're still going to get people wanting to get the tarot readings for you, because this could be a supplement to your income, or maybe for some of you your career. So you can't sell yourself short, but you can't price yourself out the market, and that's the sweet spot that everybody's got to find. And if you're worth it, people will pay. So there we go with that bit. So what I'm going to do is show you how to do a reading properly. and do it on myself at the same time. So do my yearly birthday reading of what's ahead of me. I've got these 3 cards, but I probably will do a more in-depth one because I'll have the opportunity, I've got the time and the desire. It's my birthday. I'm treating myself to a lovely tarot reading and also treating myself to sharing it with you. Because some of you hopefully will come and say, all right, I've interpreted this section of your tarot reading, Oak Tree, and I think this is what this means, and you're more than welcome to do that. So I've got these 3 decks just because I was attracted to them. I thought I'll choose these today. I could have chosen any others. I just buy these. They're like jewellery organza bags, and I put all my tarot cards in ones, either gold or silver, according to what they look like, according to my desires. So what I've decided is that this is the Santa Muerte tarot deck. That's going to reflect the energies that are going out of my life now. I've got a new year ahead of me. That's the past. The energies are excuse me. The energies are leaving me, and they're gone. The cycle's finished. It's not doing me any good, and I want them gone, perhaps out of my life. I'll let you know. This is what's going on in my life at this moment in time and the next few weeks. This is what's coming into my life. This is the after tarot. And this is coming towards me. This energy, star. Now for me, the bottom of the deck is always extra information. It's just to help you put a flavour on the rest of the reading. So, put that there. I might have the occasional sip of water because I'm talking a lot. So I just shuffle. Sometimes I can do the thing where you put it in half and do that, but I'm not very good at it. Let's see show you how I'm not very good. And it's not a very good to do it on the floor in a blanket, because that's what I'm doing it in my room where it's quiet. Let's see, I'm really rubbish at this. Some people could just do it and it just stuns me. I actually manage that. Ooh. And I also worry about damaging the cards. So I'm just going to shuffle. I always do an empty shuffle, get rid of the reading before. Blank mind, and sometimes I just think empty shuffle, and just do it a few times. And be aware that when things fly out, unless they really catch my eye, I don't pay attention to them because I'm not thinking about anything. I'm not asking a question. So we need to look at what's leaving my life now. It's finished. The energy's finished. I've learnt the lesson. I've completed the course. Or I have no place in the energies of that, you know, if it's, you know, other people or situations. I've completed it. So what is leaving me now with a new deal? Let's do 3 to start with. The Emperor. Ooh. The 7 of Wands. Temperance. Ooh. 5 of Cups. I was going to do 3, but I'm compelled to carry on. The 9. Is that 9 or 6? This is the one thing I find difficult with this deck. It's the 9. And the Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the 9 of Wands. So, what's leaving my life? There's a sense of control and authority that's leaving. So maybe I am an Aries. It's a feeling that I should control things. Oh, in case any of you are interested in astrology, I've never really connected with astrology, but you know, that if that's your thing, go for it. But the very little I do know, and I was trying to see if it was something that I was interested in when I was much younger, is I'm an Aries sun, a Cancer moon, and a Libra rising, if that helps any of you, because it is a lesson. Trying to think, do I remember any more? Venus, Aquarius, and Mars is in Libra as well. I do have a few things in Libra. I remember that much. I have quite a well dispersed chart. I remember that much, in that it wasn't clumped anywhere, but I had a few things happening in Libra, like my ascendant and my Mars. So it could be that there could be something there that's going on, that there's this sense of control. I mean, sense of authority. Maybe things are gonna be less in my control over the next year. Sometimes that happens, where things happen that I can't control, or I don't know about. You know, coronavirus is something I can't control. I'm completely at the whim of events in regards to coronavirus. You know, I could lose work, lose income. You know, I could struggle. I'm not going to worry about that. I don't believe in borrowing trouble or worrying about the things you can't control. New opportunities come, and I believe in seizing them. So any new opportunities coming your way, share them out, or you think I might be interested in. But I'm not going to worry about it. The Seven of Wands is this sense that that I need to defend something, and this actually connects to the Emperor energy, in that maybe, you know, I've been fighting for something, I've been fighting to defend something, I've been fighting to maintain something, which I would say is my life. And I would say that it's the status quo of my life, in that I like the way life's going. I like how I spend my time and the things I get to do with it, that I get to do tarot, that I get to read books. I love reading, and writing. I love writing, and all my crafty things that I enjoy. There's things that I love to do, and to balance all those things out in my life, that, you know, I've fought a lot to defend that, because we all have to try and work hard to maintain our lifestyle. That might be leaving me. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on in my life at the moment, what's coming forward to me. So temperance, balance, you know, balancing things out in my life so that I'm of an even keel, which, you know, it's slightly worrying that these things are leaving. What's coming in? Five of Cups is more promising, because it's the Five of Cups. What's leaving me is sadness and grief. I would just take that as really negative feelings that, you know, when things haven't gone so well, and I've tried to maintain an even keel and to keep on top of things, and keep a stiff upper lip, that's leaving me. I don't need to feel so bad about things going wrong. And the sleepless nights are leaving. The staying up late worrying about stuff that I can and can't control. In a sense, what it's telling me is I've accepted there are things that I can't control, and I'm not going to worry about them. And that is sort of through world events recently, and things happening where I have no control over them, and I've stressed about them, and I've worried about it. How am I going to pay for stuff? How am I going to maintain the, you know, things that I want to do? That kind of thing. You may share that concern. I'm letting it go. I'm not going to worry about it. And what else is leaving me? This is intriguing me, because it's the Ace of Swords, which is, I actually see as very positive. It's like new ideas, new clarity, new seeing the way through things. So my ideas, we'll see, may become more complex in the near future. because what's leaving me is the clarity of thought, that my single-minded focus on something. I might spread out and be focused on other things. So this speaks to me of what's leaving me now is feelings of anxiety and fear and stress, the feeling that I've got to really defend something, that I've really got to stay in control and be in charge and be an authority and sort of keep my balance and distance and sort of remain calm and neutral about things, is leaving, along with some negative feelings about perhaps not being able to show these things or share them. I think a lot of people can share that interpretation, but this is for you to learn as well. What do you think these cards mean in context of what's leaving my life now? What do you think this means? So I'll read them out again. It's the Emperor, the Seven of Wands, the Temperance, the Five of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. If you want to press pause, do that and make your own little jot it down. And the Nine of Wands, which is an extra bit of information for me, just is representative of the things that I'm cutting them out. She's got a scythe, she's cutting those 9 wands down. So I'm going to leave that there for a second and just have a sip of my tea. And what we're going to move on to what is going on in my life at the moment. So overall, I feel that's a good thing, because what I'm letting go of is negativity, which negativity always comes into our lives, or we have negative feelings. The challenge is and the triumph is what you do with them afterwards, which is, my recommendation is just get rid of them. You don't need them. They're not going to help. So this is my what's happening in my life now in the very near future, like the next couple of weeks to a month. So I'm going to do 6 again because I did 6 before. Let's see. Oh, something's coming to an end. I wonder what it is. Oh, but I'm still going to be stressed and worried about stuff. And I'm going to be in the fray of competition for something, but also still yet abundant. I've got a new passion coming imminently and a decision to make. 7 of Pentacles. So it's not completely gone out of my life, this residual negative energy. It's still going to be there. So I think, to me, this is representative of worrying about stuff. I am a great worrier. It's just the way I'm made. But I think that's going to carry on for the near future. I'm going to enter some sort of competition or challenge. I'm going to enter the fray, and it's with equal competitors. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to come in and jump in and say, yeah, I'm going to join in the football match. Not literally, I'm not a very sporty person, but there's something where I can be an equal competitor, and I'm going to carry on doing that. And I think it's going to bring me some sort of abundance, that I'm going to do well in it. I mean, this could be tarot. Maybe one of my videos will do really well, get lots of views. Maybe this one. Or it could be something else in my life, one of my other things that I do, where it reflects on my beauty. Or something that I can do that's beautiful, or people perceive as beautiful. But it's something that's, there's a form of abundance. And I think it's something that I've done in the past that's come back, that's grown, that I've done it and I've left it, and it's sort of like coming back now and sort of saying, here's your payout from it, that the crop is ripe, here's your harvest, here's your share. So I think it's definitely probably something that I invested in a while ago, It could be energetically, it could be, let's say, one of my old tarot videos suddenly becomes really popular, or something I did for someone in the past has come back and it's gonna, they say, oh, here's, you remember you lent me the money for this, or you did this, here's your share. And it could be universally, it could be, the universe sends me this, or the angels, or whoever watches over, whatever, looks out for me. But this new growth is going to really spark my imagination. It's really going to spark my passion. It's going to spark my drive. It's like an opportunity comes my way that I'm going to seize upon, and I'm like, this is it. I'm not going to let go. This can really offer me something good. And here's the choice. And again, it will be interesting to see what comes forward. Is I wonder, I've got a choice then between two things. It'll probably be to take it or to not take it. Or maybe I have to drop something else in my life in order to make the space to do this other thing. I mean, this is good from my perspective at a time when it starts off stressful, but actually within the next 2 weeks to the next month, by the end of April, something new will have come for me that will give me abundance, which I'm very grateful for. Because isn't it nice to have new things come in? I mean, I'm intrigued now, saying, oh, what's this new thing coming in? We might ask that afterwards, if we'll see what the time is. Oh, we're already at over half an hour. I wonder how many of you are still listening to me. So that's what's coming. It's happening now. It's coming in the next couple of weeks to a maximum of a month. But I'm thinking within the next 2 weeks. And a choice to be made. Ooh, I'm not looking forward to that. But I'm looking forward to the abundance. That something I've invested in is going to perhaps be ripe for harvesting. So maybe we'll get our answer in the next shuffle, which is showing me Emperor again at the bottom of the deck. Make sure I put it in with the right bag, you see. Let's shuffle. This is what's coming towards me. So I'll do 6 cards because that's what we've been doing all along. Create it equal. So what's coming towards me? King of Pentacles. It could be a man. It could be a King of Pentacles. Change, and he might bring change for me. And knowledge and wisdom. Oh, and he's going to be the one that helps me make the choice. And wow. Right, bottom of the deck, Knight of Wands. This looks very promising. So this Knight of Pentacles, it could be a man, it could be an earth sign man. Again, I'm not big hot on astrology. Earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, one of the others. I'm sorry. Put it in the box for those that don't. But it's earthy energy, so it could be financial, that I have some sort of financial abundance come my way. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. But it could be a steady opportunity for me to create abundance in my life. And there was this feeling early with the Empress that I had something come towards me that was something I'd already invested in. It's very sturdy, very steady. If it's a man, he is very sturdy and steady. He's very established. He's wealthy, or at least is on his way to being his potential wealth. He's already halfway there, if not all the way there. He's a provider. He is interested in being a provider if he's not already. He might have a financial opportunity for me. I mean, it could be a tarot reading. Or some other opportunity connected to some of the other things that I do outside of tarot. But it's something that I can make something of. It could offer me financial security or security in opportunity, in that it'll give me something tangible. And it's change. I mean, we got that impression before, that I'm letting go of other things and I'm welcoming in new, which I've probably needed. I've gone a tiny bit stagnant. I've sort of not been. I've had new things coming and doing, but I've just sort of not done as many new things and not challenged myself. That's what I'm looking for. I've not really challenged myself properly in anything for a while. I've sort of been in hermit mode a bit too much, and now I need to get out of it. And it looks likely that I've asked and it's being delivered, that there's new opportunities for new abundance coming my way. And the old is being left behind in the wake. I've outgrown things. I'm letting them go and letting other people pick them up and have joy of them. And I'm moving on to something new. I've, in a sense, completed the hermit journey, as I would describe it, because that's how I feel it's gone for me. And I'm ready to get out there. And yeah, I've got to do it. It's time. That what's coming to me is a change. And I feel that this change is going to require me to use my inner knowledge, my inner wisdom. The High Priestess is a learned woman. She's the nun. She's the religious sort of female figure of the tarot deck. She's well read. You could argue that I'm well read. Plenty of people have read more books than I have, but plenty have read less. So I just see that as a, what does that matter? It depends what books that you've read. I've read far too many romance novels. That's probably healthy for me. But then I've read an awful lot of other books that I find fascinating, history books, nice literature, classics, and, murder mysteries. I love crime books as well. And some travel books. I'll have a go at anything, even, fantasy fiction I'll have a go at, and science fiction. It doesn't matter. If I enjoy the book, I'll read it, and if I enjoy the author, I'll read more of their books. And anthropological books. I'm fascinated with sort of the ideas of how humans evolve and stuff. So it could be that the opportunity is for me to enhance my knowledge, or show it off, or develop it, or help provide people with answers to things. This also comes up for me a lot because I'm a tarot reader. It's using my knowledge, esoteric knowledge, my secret knowledge, my wisdom through experience and book reading and sharing of knowledge to help others. So I get that a lot, the High Priestess. It does suit other parts of my character. So it could be a change in something I do with tarot, like it could be a tarot reading, but they want me to do a different sort of tarot reading for them that I normally do. And I think this opportunity, because it's something new, that I will say, okay then, is it Virgo? Is Virgo the other earth sign? That's just popped into my head. So the choice is made. This is the after tarot. It's after what happens is I've made a choice that I'm going to pour away that cup, reflect on the other three. So I think the opportunity will come across. I will make the choice. So whether it's to do with something else, I will make the choice to take it or not take it. I suspect take it, because the Wheel of Fortune, the wheel turns, fortune changes. I do something different. I choose to take this opportunity. That's my instinct so far, that this is what I would do. And and let the other thing that perhaps must be, you know, maybe there's two opportunities presented to me and I choose A over B or B over A. But things will change then for me, and it's to the Ten of Wands in that I will release a burden. I dropped all the wands, that I will then say, okay, it's finished. I've finished that. It's time for something new. Because the Ten of Wands is the end of something where you've got to the point where you can't carry it alone anymore. It's now time to share the burden. Although this man is there with still got his wand. The other 9 are on the floor because he just couldn't carry the weight anymore and he's dropped it. So I think that there's this sense of, to me, like, reading it in context for myself is that I am letting go of the things I can't control. This is a continuation for me of the energies that I already understand that are going on in my life, where it's, I can't control this, I'm not going to worry about it, I'm just going to, I've got this, I'm going to cling to it, and I'm not going to worry about the things that have dropped on the floor, and I am going to continue on. I'm going to carry on, and someone else can pick these ones up and deal with the problem. So there's a feeling here that I'm going to go on some sort of adventure because it's a Knight of Wands. I'm going to take this new opportunity. I'm intrigued. I'm going to ask for, because I think sometimes I try not to clarify things, but sometimes you have to. Because if a card sort of goes out of the narrative where you build up a story, because storytelling is an important component of tarot reading, I think sometimes you need to say, actually, can you just give me an extra bit of information? So I'm going to ask for a clarification on the Ten of Wands to see what the message is. Sun, yeah, positive. Bottom of the deck, yeah. I'm moving on. 6 of Swords. I'm moving on to something else. So I'm letting something go, that I've exhausted, that I can't go any further with it. It's finished. It's done. And it's time to move on. So I'm going to let something slide and move into this new energy that's coming towards me, and this new change that's coming towards me. So I asked for clarification on the King of Pentacles, and we've got the World. And the Knight of Pentacles. It is something being presented to me that allows me to complete the cycle that I've been through and to start a new cycle, a new journey, a new adventure, a new excuse me, a new opportunity. Isn't that exciting? So we've explored a bit about reading the cards within for an individual and reading them as sort of past, present and future. That's what I've done, is an elaborate past, present and future. What's leaving me, what's currently in my life, what's coming towards me. And it's all done in the short term because of my personal belief that the further in the future you do it, the less accurate it is. So I've done this for the next month to 2 months of the future. And it looks like something's coming my way that's right down my alley, that can really change things, and through this choice I let something else slide in my life. I don't know what that is going to be yet because I haven't been presented with the opportunity or the offering, and when it does so, I'll know what it is that I don't have time for. It might be just something I need to put a pause on in my life, and I can come back to it in a few months. But it's a good thing. I'm pleased about it. It's going to offer me a lot. And we had the 6 of Swords before that. I'm moving on from something. So that looks good to me. I'm quite pleased about that. It's just in the short term, I'm probably worrying about you lot and coronavirus and my family, and so many people that are losing jobs and income. I mean, if you're thinking that you might be able to make a bit of money on the side with tarot, go for it. The income's not guaranteed. It's better to use it as something that you can earn a bit of extra money per month and not rely on it, because it is so inconsistent. But it's certainly something that I enjoy, and I love helping all of you, and listening to your problems and sorting stuff out. So why not? Now, let's get on to me playing with my new toy, Tea Leaf Fortune Cards. One of the things I really like about this is that it's got a giant bag that matches my theme of gold and silver for my tarot cards in organza. But it has these where it has the months. I'm not going to do that. It's going to be a longer video than I thought it would be. But I thought what we could do here is these. So I've only had them a few hours in my, well, 2 weeks in my possession, a few hours with me shuffling them, you know, getting to feel the energies of, you know, and feel them in my hands and do stuff with them. So I thought what we could do is do this. That should go next to that. So you should be able to see that. So in case of reflection, we've got career, love, marriage, happiness, success, wealth. And what we're going to do is I'm going to shuffle in the bag, as it says, and put some cards for each one to see what's, again, coming over the year, coming my way, the next sort of few months, my birthday reading, what's coming, so what's in my energies now and what's coming towards me in the very near future in regards to these 6 different sections of life. And this will be an experience for me as well as you, because I'm not very familiar with these cards, but then they are nice and simple in that they have a simple message on them. So let me get shuffling. So I think we'll do 3 cards for each. So 3 cards for my career, love. So see where we can find this offering. Excuse me. My stomach there just made a very loud noise. One, 2, 3. Oh, my love life. There's not much going on in it, so this will be interesting. I don't have a marriage, so who knows what this is going to come up. Happiness. Am I going to be successful in the near future? 3 came out like that. Finally, wealth. Let's keep our fingers crossed for me. I mean, wealthy in all ways but money. Oh, 3 together. Right, this is the bit now. I'm so revealing so much about me to all of you. Let's see what comes up for my career. So, arrow, you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. So I am doing the right thing in terms of my career. What a relief. Wind chimes, peace and harmony. Torch, spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness and understanding. So that looks good to me in terms of my career. Spiritual development, I would imagine that's my tarot. So in love, family wishes come true. My family will all be okay. Throne, position of authority. Kite, vacation. So I'm taking a break from my love life. Well, this is an extended break. Marriage, casket, someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Well, I'm not married, so I don't see the end of a marriage. Maybe that I'm coming to the end of a single life. Doing something risky, taking a chance. Good news. Well, that looks better for what I would describe as a more solid relationship in my life. As I'm single. Marriage is not something that I see happening immediately, but obviously maybe in the near future it's more likely. I wasn't expecting that. I was just expecting that to say it's nothing. Happiness, flowers, happiness, that's good. Man, dealings or relationship with a man. Ooh, maybe I will meet someone. Maybe it's that King of Pentacles. Box, you will receive a gift. Please send me gifts. Any gifts are gratefully received. I'm always grateful. Grateful for these tea leaf cards. That's my gift. Success. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. I don't like the sound of that. But then I am quite stubborn. And I do have a family that love me. And friends that take care of me. So I feel quite well protected. Someone will try to, but they will not succeed. Temporary problems. So I'm not going to be particularly successful in the very near future. Heartache over what you no longer have. Ew. Well, with one hand you're given and the other you're taken away. You have taken away from you. Wealth. Okay. Take a deep breath. Time to act. I should be more acquisitive financially. Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So maybe I will adopt that policy of being a bit more shrewd. Be a bit more business minded instead of spiritually minded. Key, successful outcome to your problems. Oh, this is wonderful. Maybe it's because of the gift. The opportunity. I'm intrigued by that though. But they're only temporary problems, which is positive. Heartache over what you no longer have. I always try and be fairly philosophical about the things that you no longer have in your life, because what's the point? Other things come in. As you lose, you gain elsewhere. It's upsetting. I wonder what else it'll tell me. Of course, I have to look now. Someone is extremely stubborn and is unwilling to change. So maybe that's the... so... I think it's not so much that I'm extremely unwilling to change. I think I want somebody else to do something and they are not willing to do that, and so I'm upset. That makes more sense. So if I was to do this as a reading for someone else, I'm reading for myself. I'm obviously thinking through things that you don't have a clue about with me. But I would say in my career, in your career, it is that you're actually doing the right thing. So even if things are going wrong at the moment, or if they're going right, take advantage of the going right. And if things are going wrong, don't panic. It's just a lull. Other good things are coming. In terms of love, it's clear family are very important. Maybe you're in a position of authority in the family or in love. I would say that you're in control of love, or I'm in control of the love in my life, in the sense that I let it in or let it out. And vacation, I don't see me going on a vacation or a holiday anytime soon, because most of the planet's in lockdown. I doubt I could get out of the country, and I'm certainly not being encouraged to leave the house at this moment in time. So we will see how that pans out later on in the year, with me potentially travelling. So it could be a vacation from being single. This is one of the things where you think, I don't see that as being very likely. So, excuse me, going dry now, all this talking. Marriage, as I said, I'm completely single. I've never been married. I'm not with someone. I don't see, unless it's a massively quick turnaround, I don't see me marrying anybody this year. It's the end of March. Someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. Again, let's go back to the end. The situation that I'm in is being single. So doing something risky, taking a chance. Maybe I meet somebody and I take the chance because I've been single for so long to get out of that comfort zone. And good news on the marriage front. So maybe I'll meet someone. Wish me luck. Because I could be happy with the man. I wonder if he sends me a gift. I think the gifts are going to come through because of my birthday, if I'm honest. It is my birthday reading. You know, I'm teaching it to you lot as well because I feel comfortable doing a reading on myself and not some celebrity that you've all got a crush on, because I just think that's unfair. And I want you to learn from this and to share your knowledge. And that could be my gift as well. You could give me that gift. But I'm certainly going to be happy, and I'm very happy with that. We've discussed success because I was concerned about it. So success might come around because somebody else is, because I've cut off something. There's a suggestion that I'm cutting off something, that I'm choosing to go a different route. So I could be upset because of this thing that I'm letting go out of my life. And it could be anything. It could be a situation that I just can't change and I have to accept that and I need to move on from it. And when I do that, I'll have success. Because, you know, there's no point beating a dead horse, you know, once it's done, it's done. And I am going to be successful, and it could be because I take an action that I'm being quite shrewd about, sensible about, and then I'm going to get a successful outcome to my problems. It's a nice big key. So that looks good to me. I said, is there anything else that should be important to me? And I've got handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. I wonder if it's that strange man. So there we go. I think I need to stop. I'm just going to have a sip of tea. Crikey, I've been going for an hour. So this was an entertaining way for me to share my birthday with you, to share my new cards with you, to share my knowledge with you. Giving a reading to someone else when you know all there is to know about them is actually quite easy. The next lesson I think we'll do is where you don't know anything about them or you have a little bit of knowledge, which is, if you decide to go that route, is what you have. Because I get emails from lovely people, they have readings and they'll say, I've just got this problem with my career, you know, and I just don't know anything other than they have problems at work or they're concerned about their relationship. I don't know anything else, and so I have to give the reading based on the scant knowledge that I have, which is fine. Nobody has to bare their soul to me to get a tarot reading. But I'm going to stop there because it's time for me to stop. Thank you for sharing my birthday with me, for sharing your time with me. I hope you're all going well. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you for listening to me. And goodbye.